Good afternoon, everyone, especially Ma'am Grace Samson. My name is Maria Teresa Anacion, and we are Group 6, together with Ma'am Nancy Cantillana and Daisy Ann Maulawin. The topics that we have is similarities and differences of domestic animals, and recognize and identify the similarities and differences among animal groups. And the last is stating different livestock production system and management practices.
The first topic that I will discuss is similarities and differences of domestic animals. What is domestic animals? So, domestic animals means an animals of species of vertebrates that has been domesticated by humans so as to live and breed in the same condition and depend on humankind for survival. So, meaning to say, pag sinabi nating domestic animals, ito yung mga hayop na piling pinalaki at genetically adapted sa mga generations to live alongside of humans. So, they are genetically distinct from their wild ancestor or cousin. The next is
10 popular domestic animals. First is dog, cat, cattle, horses, chicken, pig, sheep, goat, camel, and last is donkey. I will not discuss one by one the characteristic of this animal because dinidiscuss na to ng group 5. So, next slide na ako. There are 3 main groups of domestic animals. First is dog and cat is domestication for companionship or tinatawag nating pets. Then the sheep, cow, pigs, goat, chickens, or etc. Ito naman yung animal farm food. And then horses, donkey, and camels. Ito naman yung for using working or drop animals. The domestication na nangyayari ang domestication through selective breeding, and individual that exhibit desirable traits are selected to be bred, and in these desirable traits are then passed along the future generations. As based on our research that the first domesticated is wolves, sometimes between 33 years and 11 years ago. And after domesticated, the dogs came the domestication of livestock animals, which is coincided with widespread shift from foraging to farming among the many culture. Dahil most major acts of domestications began before recorded history. So, hindi natin alam the exact process behind the generation long journey from wild animal to domesticated pet or livestock. Ang malinaw lang is the ancestors of domesticated animals must have already exhibited traits that made them somehow useful to human traits that may range from tasty meat to warm coats to natural affinity for people. Since the first domesticated animals is wolves or looks like dog, the history of
The history of dog is 2017 na study found the evidence that early dog-like wolves were indeed genetically disposed to be friendly. That friendliness may have triggered the first mutually beneficial relationship between humans and dogs, in which people give dogs for food or else shelter in exchange for the animal services as guard or hunting. Kasi nung una panahon, ang pagkakalam ko, ang mga wolves ay sinasama, mga aso sinasama for pag-hunting ng mga wild animals. Then, ganun, parang sila yung mga guard ng kanilang mga amo. Then, and the next is pets versus domestic animals. So, ano nga ba ang pinagkaiba nitong dalawang to? Pag sinabi nating pets, ito yung mga animals for companionship purposes, while domestic animals are keep for their economic benefits. And the example of pets include cat, snakes, dog, and domestic animals naman ay include yung cow, donkeys, horses, chicken, sheep, and goats. Then, this is the summary of pets versus domestic animals. So, pag pets are captured from the wild to serve as companions for owners with no economic benefits, whereas domestic animals are mainly captured for economic benefits, are food producer or as farm workers. Then, pets include, among others, dog, cat, and snake. And whereas domestic animals include cow, goat, sheep, chicken, and many more. Then pets and domestic animals depend on human survival. And next is pets can be bred to produce different characteristics, and domestic animals naman as well as can be bred. The example goes to mating of the donkey and horses to produce a mule. Then pets naman is often stay in the household while domestic animals do not. Then pets can be dangerous to strangers because they have strong relationship with their owners. This is the differences between pets and domestic animals. Recognize and identify similarities and differences among animal groups. Animals can be broadly divided into two groups, invertebrates and vertebrates. Pag sinabing invertebrates are animals that do not have backbone. So more than that, the distribution, they include mammals as diverse as the sea stars, and halimbawa ito sea urchins, earthworms, and jellyfish, lobsters, crabs, insects, spider, and marami pang iba. Then, invertebrates are especially important as agricultural pests because parasite or agent for the transmission of parasite infection to humans and other vertebrates. The hill invertebrates serve as food for humans. Why? Because kung hindi dahil sa invertebrates na
ng mga animal, yung mga insect, ay wala silang food chain that support the birds and fish and many other vertebrate species. Then vertebrates are animals have backbones. This group is include reptiles, fish, amphibians, birds, and mammals. So this is the end of my reporting about domestic animals and animals group. So the next reporting will discuss the classifying similarities and differences of animal groups with Ma'am Nancy Cantillana.
Thank you so much, Miss Anacion. Good afternoon, Ma'am Samson. Good afternoon, classmates. Let's proceed to classifying animals. Classifying animals. Vertebrates are animals with backbones. They can be broken into special categories. Mammals. Mammals have hair or fur. Most mammals make milk for their young mammals breathe with lungs. Sinasabi dito na ang mammals ay may buhok o balahibo at karamihan sa kanila ay gumagawa o nagpo-produce ng gatas para sa mga batang mammals. At ang example dito ay ang cat, dog, pig, at goat. Reptiles. Reptiles are vertebrates with scaly skin. They have tough scale to protect them. They breathe with lungs. Some live in water. Ang reptiles ay vertebrates na may scaly skin or nangangaliskis na balat at matigas ang mga ito upang protektahan sila sa panganib at nabubuhay sila sa tubig. Ang example nito ay ang turtles, lizard, crocodiles at snake. Fish. Fish spend their whole lives in water. They breathe using gills and reproduce by laying eggs. Most are covered in scales in a slimy coating. Buong buhay ng isda ay nakadepende sa tubig at humihinga sila gamit ang kanilang hasang at nagpaparami sa pamamagitan ng pangingitlog na tinatakpan ng kanilang kaliskis. At ang example dito ay ang albacore tuna, alligator gar, anchovy, anglefish. Amphibians. Amphibians spend part of their lives in water and part on land. They are usually born with gills. As they get older, they grow legs and lungs and live on land. Ang buhay ng amphibian ay nakadepende sa tubig at lupa, at sila ay karaniwang pinapanganak na may hasang at habang sila ay tumatanda, unti-unti na tumitibay ang kanilang baga at lumalaki na din ang binti upang maging ligtas sila sa pamumuhay sa lupa. At ang example nito ay ang frogs, salamanders, caecilians, Lysamphibia. Birds. Birds have break feathers, wings, and two legs. They breathe air with lungs and lay eggs to reproduce. Ang ibon ay may balahibo, pakpak, at may dalawang paa at kaya din huminga sa hangin at nangingitlog upang magparami. At ang example nito ay ang duck at goose. Classification of animals. Vertebrates with backbones, with warm-blooded o yung may mainit ang dugo, kasama dito ay ang mammals. At ang example ng mammals ay ang bear, tiger. Ang tiger ay carnivore mammals at saka whales. Tapos sa birds, ang example ng birds ay ostrich at eagle. Tapos sa with backbone, cold-blooded or yung may malalamig na dugo, nakabaligtaran ng warm bloods ay ang fish. Ang example ng fish ay ang pig, goldfish. Tapos sa reptiles naman ay ang turtles, snake, crocodiles. Sa amphibians ay ang frog at lizards. Sa invertebrates with bone, ito naman yung may mga binti or yung may mga buto. with 3 pairs of legs. Ang example nito ay ang langgam or ants, cockroach or ipis. Tapos, more than 3 pairs legs ay ang spider or gagamba, scorpion or alakdan. Without bone naman ay ang worm or bulate, leech or linta. Livestock production system. Livestock production refers to domesticated animals intentionally reared in an agricultural setting to produce food or other products, leather, wool, etc. Ang livestock ay tumutukoy sa mga alagang hayop na sadyang pinalaki sa kapaligiran ng agrikultura upang makagawa ng pagkain o iba pang produkto tulad ng leather, wood, etc. At ang halimbawa dito ay ang cattle, buffalo, pig, sheep, horses. And livestock are raised in agricultural setting such as factory, farms, family farms, and cattle ranches. Ang mga hayop ay pinalaki sa natural na pamamaraan ng agrikultura tulad ng sakahan ng isang pamilya o ransyo ng mga baka. Halimbawa, ang natural na pamamaraan ng pagpapalaki tulad ng kabayo, pinapasto nila ito katulad din ng kambing at baka, na ang pagkain ay sa kapaligiran din nakukuha at hindi sa mga kemikal na produktong pampalaki ng hayop. Environment effects. Livestock systems have caused negative environment impacts such as erosion, deforestation, and water pollution. But these impacts are small relative to other food production systems and other human activities. As humans face a future in which livestock production will increase dramatically, a series of questions become outstanding. Sinasabi dito na ang sistema ng mga hayop ay nagdudulot ng negatibong epekto sa ating paligid, tulad ng erosion, deforestation at water pollution. Pero ang mga ito ay maliit lamang kumpara sa ibang sistemang produksyon ng pagkain dulot ng aktibidad ng tao. Types of livestock. Cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs account for 92% of all livestock in the world, with relative abundance of the different species varying significantly among regions. Ang tupa, baka, kambing at baboy ay bumubuo ng 92% livestock sa ating mundo, at bawat rehiyon ay may iba't ibang uri ng hayop. Most of this variation is due to pig and goats being most abundant in Africa and Asia, whereas pigs dominate livestock numbers in China. Ang pagkakaiba ng mga hayop tulad ng kambing na pinakasagana sa Africa at Asia, at ang baboy naman ay nangunguna sa ibang hayop sa China. Proportion of stocks represented by poultry. Makikita natin dito na nangunguna ang cattle na mayroong 23%, sinundan siya ng sheep na mayroong 20.7%, next ay ang pigs 20.7%, goats 18.4%, at so on. General management practice of livestock. Animal breeding, appearance of healthy animal, body temperature of animals, care of the newborn animal, castration of ruminants, common animal disease and their management, dehorning calves, lambs, and kids, determination of age of animals, economic character of dirty cattle. Ang next na po magre-report ay si Ms. Maulawin. Siya na po yung magdi-discuss dito sa General Management Practice of Livestock. Thank you po.
Thank you, Miss Cantillana. Good afternoon po. The part of my report is General Management Practice of Livestock. Animal breeding. Animal breeding is a branch of animal science that addresses the evolutions of the genetic value of livestock, selecting for breeding animals with superior EVV. It's a growth rate, egg, meat, milk or wool production, or with other desirable traits has revolutionized livestock production throughout the entire world. Ang pag-aanak ng hayop ay isang sangay ng agham na tumutugon sa pagsusuri ng genetic na halaga ng mga hayop. Ang pagpili para sa pagpaparami ng mga hayop na may higit na EVV rate ng paglaki, production ng itlog, karne, gatas, o iba pang pangkanais-nais ng mga katangian na nagpapabago sa produksyon ng hayop sa buong mundo. Mating system. Mating of good quality animals to produce highly productive and sustainable animals for enhancement of overall performance in the subsequent generation and to augment production and probability is a term animal breeding. Pag-aasawa ng magandang kalidad ng mga hayop upang makabuo ng lubos na produktibo at angkop ng mga hayop para sa pagpapahusay ng pangkalahatan na pagganap ng henerasyon upang madagdagan ang production sa buong mundo at kumita ng malaki. System breeding. In general, there are two different types of breeding system, purebred and crossbred. With both of pigs' parents are registered member of the same breed, the pig is purebred. Its parents are member of the different breed. It is a crossbred. There are two types of mating of animals for production of the progenies. Natural progenitions mating of animals by natural means, artificial insemination o A1. Mating is done throughout artificial means by collecting semen from male and inseminating the females. This method helps use to outstanding males for mating of large number of females, thereby production of large number of highly productive and performing progenies. Ang pag-aasawa na ginagawa ng pamamagitan ng artificial na paraan sa pamamagitan ng pagkolekta ng similya mula sa lalaki at pagpapabinhi sa mga babae. Ang pamaraang ito ay nakakatulong sa paggamit ng paggawa ng malaking bilang na lubos ng produktibo at gumaganap ng mga supply. Breeding system. They have two types. Close breeding. This is a most intensive breeding where animals are very closely related and can be traced back to more than one common ancestor. Ito yung pinaka masisilang pag-aanak kung saan ang mga hayop ay nakalapit na magkakamag-anak ay maaaring masubaybayan pagbalik sa higit sa isang karaniwang ninuno. Line breeding. Mating animals that are more distantly related which can be traced back to one common ancestor. Pagsasama ng mga hayop na mas malayo ang kaugnayan na maaaring masubaybayan pagbalik sa isang karaniwan. Outbreeding. Crossbreeding. Crossbreeding is the mating of two animals of different breed. Ito yung pagsasama ng dalawang hayop na magkaibang lahi. Breeding up. Breeding up is a breeding of animals of two different breed where the animals of an indigenous breed genetic groups is mated and improves purebred for several generations towards attaining the superior traits of the improved breeds. Ang breeding up ay ang pag-aanak ng mga hayop ng dalawang magkaibang lahi kung saan ang mga hayop ng isang katutubong lahi o genetic na grupo ay pinagsama sa isang pinahusay na purong breed para sa ilang henerasyon tungo sa pagkamit ng mga superior na katangian ng improved breeds. Appearance of the animal. The healthy animal is alert and aware of its surroundings. It is active and holds its head up, watching what is happening around it. Ang malusog na hayop ay alerto at may kamalayan sa paligid nito, aktibo at nakataas ang ulo habang pinapanood ang pangyayari sa paligid. Ang halimbawa nito ay may isang manok na kapag tanghali makikita nyo na unti-unti nakakatulog at nakapikit ang mata. Pero once na may kumalaste or may nag-ingay sa kanyang paligid ay agad na mumulat ang kanyang mata at maririnig mo na nag-iingay ito. Sa pamamagitan na napapakita niya ang pagiging alerto sa kanyang paligid. It shall stand on all of its feet. The separation of the animal from others in its group of often a sign of health problems. Dapat itong tamayo sa lahat ng kanyang mga paa. Ang paghihiwalay ng isang hayop mula sa iba niyang grupo ay kadalasang senyales ng problema sa kalusugan. An animal which is not interested in its surroundings and does not want to move has health problem. Ang isang hayop na hindi interesado sa kanyang paligid at ayaw gumalaw ay may mga problema sa kalusugan. Body temperatures of animals. The body temperature may be 1% below the temperatures. Example, the camel body temperature will vary with the time of day and water availability. When a camel is watered daily, its body temperature rises from 36.5 degree in the morning to 39.5 degree at noon. If the animal has no water, the temperature range is 34.5 degree to 4 degree. If you suspect that animal has a high temperature, use thermometer to check it. Remember that a high temperature is one of sign of ill health. When an animal has a high temperature, it has a fever. The normal body temperature of animal. Types of animal, normal temperatures. Cattle, 38.5. Buffalo, 38.2. Sheep, 39.0. Lamana alpaca, 38.0. Donkey, 38.2. Chicken, 42.0. Calf, 39.5. Goat, 39.5. Camel, 34.5. Horse, 38.0. Pig, 39.0. Piglet, 39.8. How to take body temperature of animal. First, control the animal. Move the tail to the side. Put the thermometer gently on the anus as far as possible. Hold the thermometer at an angle so that it touches the wall of the rectum. Keep a firm grip on the thermometer. If the animal derogates or counts, the thermometer could come out or go into the rectum. Hold the thermometer in the place for half a minute. If you do not have a watch, count slowly up to 30. Remove the thermometer and wipe it if necessary and read it. Do not touch the bulbs as this could change the reading. Care of the newborn animal. Checking the navel cord, checking for extra treats, fostering, hand-caring orphans, feeding calves, and feeding lamb and kinds. Castration of ruminants. Castration is a distinction or removal of the tentacles of the male. It's occurred out on animals which are not wanted for breeding. Ang castration ay isang pagsira o pagtanggal ng testicle ng lalaki. Ito ay sinasagawa sa mga hayop na ayaw na magkaroon ng anak o tinatawag na pagkakapon. Why do you castrate animal? Traditionally, or animal raisers do not castrate animal, and both males or females are allowed to mix together. Ayon sa mga kaugalian, ang mga tagapag-alaga ng hayop ay hindi naghahalo ng mga hayop. Ang ginagawa nila ay pinagsasama ang mga lalaki sa lalaki at babae sa babae. The result is a 4 males are allowed to male with the females and young stock produced not very good. Ang nagiging resulta kapag ang isang mahirap na lalaki or hinayaan na mamit ang isang babae na maaring ang resulta nito ay isang stock na hindi maganda. As straight males are also fight it's better to castrate the animal which are not the best for breeding. Lumalaban din ang unstraighted na lalaki kaya mas maganda na i-castrate ang mga hayop na hindi maganda para sa breeding. Aftercare needed. The following care should be taken after castration of the animal. Torn clips in the their mother in the clean grass bin. Do not turn into muddy or flirty lots around barns where there is much danger and infections. Watch the animal closely for about 10 days after castrations. Beware of fly attack and infections, especially with the emasculator method. Treats wounds with wood aerosol which discourage fly attacks. It's willing the pain are severe or its animal develops fever and sustainable antibiotics should be injected. That's all our report. Thank you. Do you have any question me before we go?